Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, 26th of May. I'm back in the Read Nook on what is a grey, overcast, and but a mild day. So I am back out in the Read Nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to unbox, which is this, which came this morning. So let's find out what's in this. Small okay. Fairview, Civilians Defense Guidebook issued by United States Office of Civil Defense, a game of providence. Okay, this is from Postworld Games. In 1945, the world stopped changing. For the people of Fairview, the war continues on. Isolated, removed from the rest of the United States, the inhabitants of Fairview go about their daily lives supporting the town in the war effort. In Fairview, the citizens work for the greater good. Long live the President, long live America. Okay, this is interesting. This is written by Jim Pinto. And this game takes place in a fictional 1940s and 50s America where gender, ethnicity and sexuality placed certain people into second-class citizenry. While this author is a huge fan of games where authority examined, no game should be racist or sexist, or at the very least let players feel lesser than the other players, unless that's the experiment, I suppose. Nevertheless, you should think of this game as a launching pad for debating women and minorities in game. Sorry, if you think, please consider another game line and publisher and game designer, and this game is for everyone. This is basically, they call it the Second Great War, the war to end wars. Again, they say the fighting has been going on for years. Our men are over there killing and fighting for America. It's all I can remember, actually. When I was born, the war was going on. I'm 15 now, and it's still going. I've told the mayor 100 times, I'm ready to fight, send me over there, let me kill some Krauts. But it's always the same response. Fairview needs you here, Johnny. We've got bullets to manufacture and food rations to can. Just focus on Fairview. You'll get your chance. It's what we've all been doing for years. It's who we are. Fairview, USA. The best town in America. Duty, courage, privilege. These words still need to mean something if we're to win this war and rebuild this great country. Okay, so players and game masters will build a town, create characters and explore the strange, incongruous moments of living inside their isolated little town. Campaigns can run as long as everyone wants, and the mysteries of Fairview can be uncovered in a single session. Characters can develop and grow over time, expanding their range of knowledge. This is a traditional role-playing game with a game master and players. Unlike any traditional role-playing game, the players take on the roles of characters, roll dice, and succeed and so on, based on their choices and or luck. Okay, even if the players know the mysteries behind Fairview, their characters will not until the end. Fairview takes place in the town of the same name, Anytown, USA, which with unique resources that make her invaluable to the war effort, and an isolated locale that inside the townsfolk weren't harmed by the enemy. The town listened with horror and resolve as Roosevelt addressed the nation after Pearl Harbor. Their young men volunteered to serve as young men did all over the country. The rest of the town geared up to do their duty, utilising their secrecy and resources to stop the Axis. Today the war effort continues, but something is wrong. The town hasn't been in regular contact with the outside world for at least 5 years. No radio contact, no telephones, no mail or telegrams, just the city leaders in contact with what they claim to be the US government forces somewhere beyond Fairview's borders. No one questions, no one wonders, at least not officially. There's a war on after all. The nation can't afford disloyalty and the town's resources are needed more than ever. And yet the isolation remains. No one new comes in, no townsfolk ever leave. Fairview has become a world unto itself. Isolated alone as 1945 turns to 1946 and beyond. These are some of the issues that players will face within Fairview, a town like any other town, just trying to do its duty. What strange and terrible places this leads them to is unknown. Welcome to Fairview. Enjoy your stay. Essentially, so what this is, this can be obviously played more than once because essentially each time the players and their GM are creating a town. And once they do that, they meet the mayor and set goals. And essentially they try and overcome problems, improve the town, or even destroy the community with their actions while uncovering the deeper mysteries of Fairview. Okay. So, it's interesting. This is a role-playing game in a toolbox. It means you can use it however you want, and the police will never come to your house and tell you how you're playing it wrong. Okay. Second, it's not an old-school adventure game. There are no dungeons, 5-foot steps, hit points, etc. Players can do whatever they want and so on. And it talks about how they are, and essentially it does go into basic agreement and the social contract between players and GM. That's a good thing. And then we go on to essentially, basically, here's an image of Fairview. And essentially, what you've got is an isolated town. I mean, obviously, anything like sort of like Port Merion or something like that, where life or anyone that's sort of like one of those stories where life continues untouched by the outside world. Or even M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, for example, is an example of that, an extreme one. And we, excuse me. So we go into creating Fairview and the town with characters, and the town have traits, civility, education, population, and so on, resources, security, technology, and these can go up or down. So civility, bedlam, near societal collapse is rating of 0, near utopian is 5, so on. We have education, outright dogma or ignorance replaces facts, town library is non-existent, closed or down to a handful of basic books. Basic medical services are scarce. We're up to 5. The town has an emerging university or community college dedicated to a thriving populace, people routinely engaging in intellectual discussions or healthy philosophical debate. So essentially we've got a list here of those options again, and basically you have an image there of Rosie the Riveter, basically classic World War II figure. And they do this for each of the resources. Their ratio was from 0 to 5. We've got a sample Fairview. That's nice. Basically, the author giving you how does this work. And characters themselves, and essentially they have, duty, hobby, relationships, secrets, a situation, something unique, aspects, and so on, that build the character. And there are drama points as well. Essentially, basically the gear actually depends upon the ratings in the town. So if it's a town civility is rating of 4, each character owns 1 personal item. If its security is 3 or less, each character owns 1 small weapon, and so on. I've got an example character. Again, here's an image of Fairview. I think that's very reminiscent. There's a Spencer Tracy film about the name of which escapes me, in which set after World War II, where he comes back he visits the town of a soldier who served under him during the Pacific, and he was killed, and he comes back to basically see the soldier's father, and finds that things are not all at all well in the town where the soldier and his father live. And explanation of the rules, and basically it's just some of the ideas. Essentially, you have by United States government war savings stamps. Again, basic people are encouraged to contribute to the war by buying war bonds and the like. So buy war bonds. And this is taking you step through the process, the types of scenes you can have, how the mystery unfolds, and scene types, and basically you have someone presumably working at some mother figure, or working at the local diner. At Fairview in winter. I do like this artwork. It's reminiscent of the Nighthawks artist again. I know who wrote you. Basically, it's reminiscent of that style, and I'll mention that in the review when I come to it. Again, I'm really using a nice selection of sort of like period artwork that was essentially used as propaganda, and that's great. That adds a lot to the flavour of the game, and it will be familiar to, and basically familiar to a lot of players even now. Essentially, I presume that basically businessman or politician looks like nice figure. I really like the artwork in here. You know, you don't know whether he looks. I don't know whether you want to trust him. He looks slightly disingenuous, or just happy. Who knows? And again, we get onto the game master and setting up and more. I really like the art. I still really like the artwork in this. And again, the artwork is then balanced in terms of representation as well. That's another nice touch. Again, you know, you have to be. It's an issue, obviously, with today's games, especially those set in the past. And then we come on to the secret. I'm not going to go into this. I'm not even going to look at this right now. And essentially, it's talking about things like the campaign, external conflict versus internal conflict, the game master is the mayor, so on. You know, his honour needs you. To the conspirators, yes, and so on. Right, all the way down, basically to the mysteries, alternative secrets, and so on. And it's looking at other options to play in here: class war, racism, authority, idolatry, patriotism, that kind of thing, and designer's notes at the very end. So, essentially, you've got Fairview Civilian Defence Guidebook, issued by the United States Office of Civilian Defence. Essentially, what I'm thinking is basically an alternate reality role-playing game about an enclosed society that it's been cut off from the rest of the world for at least what looks to be like a decade. So, yeah, that looks interesting. I look forward to digging into that and giving it a review at some point. So, thank you very much for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, and me drinking another hot cup of tea, please do click the like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, please do add them. I do appreciate you taking the time, and I do read them and respond when I can. And of course, if you want to be alerted to more unboxings here in the Nook, then please subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon with another unboxing in the Nook very soon. Bye for now.